think it's him, not him? Like, do you think it's Klubnik not progressing, or do you think it's the program? And the only reason why I ask that is because I bring back up DJ, who's now at Oregon State and is thriving.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well in Dabo's corner at this point.
Dabo doesn't look good right now.
That's what I'm getting to. He does not look good at this point because now you're looking over there at DJ and you're like, okay, he's thriving.
Clearly, he wasn't the problem.
He was.
What's good, y'all?
What's up? Hate week is finished for Georgia. We got the dub.
Now it's my turn. Our turn.
Yeah.
We in Tuscaloosa.
That's gonna be an interesting.
We in Tuscaloosa.
That's gonna be interesting.
Look,
but
we here for all the smoke.
Yeah, we all are.
All I'm saying is the group chat. If y'all know who you are, I'm putting y'all on silent. I don't want y'all to talk to me, text me, nothing.
You live across the street, so I might come over there.
Bruh.
Oh, all right. But anyway, real quick on a serious note, dub it down for a second. We just want to give a moment of silence to the victims that got killed by a ridiculous idiot in Maine. And you can go read the details on it. We're not going to give all the details, but we just want to give a quick moment of silence for them. And then we'll jump into our usual stuff. So real quick moment of silence. All right, man. Thank you guys for taking that moment of silence with us. Now let's bring the energy back up. So
let's go.
We are recapping this past week. We're
just gonna jump into it.
Yeah, talk to me. We didn't get to go live on it, which is fine. So, but yeah. So I already know what you're about to say. So Georgia, I'm happy.
I was proud of y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie.
I am. That was the second time that I actually saw us perform the way that we should perform. Yes. The first time was against Kentucky.
Yes.
This time was against our arch nemesis, good old Florida Gators. And it was in Jacksonville, which they say is a neutral site, but it's really not.
They call it the largest cocktail party or something?
Yeah, largest cocktail party. They say it's a neutral site, but it's really not. But we took over. I love when they showed like the overview of the stadium. Literally like half is red, and then the other half is like blue and orange. That's what college football
is all about.
I was happy. So going through when Florida scored on their opening drive, I was like, oh, bloody hell.
I was like, bro,
this is not going to be good for us. But I didn't panic. Kind of wrangled myself back together. And I'm like, all right, here we go. We drove down the field, kick a field goal. I'm like, all right, we got it. We answered.
You know, it's good that you didn't panic, because if you did, I would have thought of no, as soon as they scored, I was like, okay. I thought about you. I was like, Javon, don't panic. Don't go that whole, that Dr. Pepper commercial where they're like,
we're going to burn everything.
Yeah, like bro, it was his first
His first series. So after that, we settled in. The defense settled in. Yeah. And although I will say, Florida, I will give them credit. Florida does have some legitimate weapons at receiving.
Florida is sneaky.
They are.
Like maybe it's just because they're on the east, LSU's on the west, so I really don't pay attention to that much.
Yeah,
but I kind of wrote them off after they lost to Utah.
Yeah,
I was like, okay,
they're a sneaky team, but Mertz, I think that's his name, the quarterback.
He's better than what the Florida Gator faithful thought he was going to be.
Yes, and with looking at him play. When he had time, he would put the ball. He would put the ball in the right spots. But I like that when we settled in, we never truly gave him time to just like go through his progressions.
That offensive line is what killed him.
Yeah. Because they missed, like, don't get me wrong, I love the defense. I love the schemes that we were calling. But some of our blitzes, they just flat out missed on blocks. Yeah. It was like, you just got free shot at this guy. Okay, thank you. I'm definitely going to take it.
Yeah.
And then having ETN. I know running backs are supposed, block the blitzing linebacker, but that is a tall order to rank. That is a tall order to rank for a small person, and for somebody that's coming at you with a full head of steam.
Bro, let me just that play. That what was it? Was it fourth down?
Yeah. That was dumb.
What are we doing?
That was dumb. That was
you getting too fancy for your britches.
That was dumb on their part.
For those of y'all who don't know, Florida decided to run a trick play on 4th and 1, where the quarterback will run up as if he's going to get the snap, but instead of going under the center, he went under the guard. Yeah, and they snapped it real quick to Etienne, and
he's a lefty. So with that particular play, he's a lefty. The guy's rolling left, but he's not used to catching the ball and rolling out. That's not what he does. Yeah. That was a dumb play. That was a very dumb play. I honestly thought they were just going to do a quarterback sneak, or they were just going to do a dive,
or try to do the Philly push or whatever you want.
Yeah, the tush push or something. Yeah. Like, you would think that, okay, we're not going to make this fancy. We're just finna try and get this yard because that's what we need to get.
Georgia is not the team that you want to be fancy with.
Our defense is
too disciplined and athletic.
Yes, and our defense showed that, I don't know, guess we had an extra pep in our step because we were playing pretty fast. Yeah. And I mean, they scored towards the end, so the score really doesn't show how that game actually went.
Yeah. What the score ended up being?
Something to 20. I think it was like 40, 43, 20 or something like that. Mm-hmm. You pulling it up? Yeah, it was something like that. The score doesn't showcase how that game went. Beck, significantly proud of Beck.
Yeah.
I think Beck had got the fade. I think Beck went and got the Staquavius fade. I think the Staquavius fade.
Yeah.
McConkey came back. Bruh, you know who I am highly, highly proud of?
Who?
Bruh, Edwards. You cannot get a direct hit on him.
He a dog.
You can't get a direct.
I think even though it's late in the season, he is showing himself to be the premier back.
Yes. You can't, and I'm watching the whole game, and every time he got tackled, it was never a direct hit on him, bruh. No.
You're not
tackler 1 and tackler 2, you might as well call it a day.
Yeah.
Tackler 3, all right, you don't slow them down, so you're probably gonna get it.
But if you think about that, that's what running back coaches tell you. Don't let the first person.
No, yeah, you got to get past 1, 2, and then if you're great, you get past 3 and 4, and you're gone.
Yeah.
So I really don't have much to say. It was a beautiful game on our part. It's lovely. Just lovely. I found it interesting though that they did let Tim Tebow interview Carson Beck. I thought that was kind of interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was I guess it was the day before the game or something.
Oh, okay.
Like the sit down.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
The only thing that, and it's not necessarily about this game, but this game does kind of play a part in it, is that y'all always get a bad rap in the beginning of the season.
Always.
But in my opinion, like I've said, and I mean, I said in past podcasts, is that rightfully so, because who y'all schedule, it makes people question y'all. But especially this year, because y'all are playing subpar competition, but
we were playing subpar.
Y'all were playing subpar. It made it. Let me not say it made people. It led me to believe that
they're not.
Y'all gonna be good, but y'all aren't gonna be like what y'all were last year.
And I think that, and I had that same thought. I'm like, bro, why are we doing this and why are we playing this way? But in all honesty, I think it actually kind of played into our favor because for the most part, we're going into, while other teams are kind of handicapping into the back end of the season.
Yeah.
We're going into the season pretty much predominantly healthy for everybody except Bowers is out. McConkey, he's working his back issue out. Milton is now coming back. So we're going into the stretch, but 95% healthy.
But don't get it twisted though. I think y'all got. We got Missouri this week.
We got Missouri.
We already played Vandy.
Tennessee. Georgia Tech.
And then Georgia Tech, and then
I can't remember. Is it one more?
Georgia Tech is always y'all's last game.
Yeah, Georgia Tech is it's the in-state rivalry.
Y'all play some out of conference.
It's somebody else. So we'll see how this season over. I will say that I'm happy as of right now because
as you should be. Like
the Florida Georgia game, it puts either a really good taste in your mouth or it puts a really bad taste. And losing against Florida, I hate to hear Florida Gators fans.
That game always carries some significant weight in regards to how the East plays out. So,
yes.
Congrats to y'all. Kudos, man. Like
3-peat, baby. Please. I gotta go pray to the football gods tonight. Please, Lord.
We'll pump the brakes on that one real quick.
Please, Lord. We know we more than likely gonna see y'all in the SEC championship. But that's a good segue point into...
We'll get to that game.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that game. All right. I'm waiting for that for the... I'm gonna get on my high horse when we talk about the coming up week.
That one's over.
Man, the big one for me was because this weekend, like you said, LSU was off, so I was just able to just
watch other conferences,
and not stress.
Because your team will stress you out, so you don't even want to watch football for the rest of the day. But anyway, go ahead.
Was the Oklahoma-Kansas game, and I was.
Oh, that was a beauty,
bro. That was a good game.
That one was a beauty.
That was a good game.
That was a beauty.
And I want to say the weather really played a part because was it snowing or it was raining? It was cold.
It was cold, yeah.
And man, that quarterback Jason Beam for Kansas.
I didn't realize he was that fast.
Oh yeah, he's one of the fastest people on that team, and he's a backup quarterback.
I did not realize he was that fast.
To do that, I mean, if you really think about it. For some reason or another, Kansas always gives Oklahoma problems.
It's always that one team, no matter how good you are, it's always that one team. And no matter how sucky that other team is, it seems like they always have your number. Some you come out with a dub more oftentimes than not, but they definitely have your number.
And when I say they give them problems, like you said, it wasn't that they were beating Oklahoma. They just were giving Oklahoma. They were just giving
them a fit.
Prime example is when Caleb Williams was at Oklahoma as a freshman, bro. They put him through the absolute ringer game. But no, that game was amazing. It felt good to be a fan and to actually watch two teams competing on their level, even though one was a top 5 team and the other is unranked.
Because they were evenly matched, I'll say. They were definitely, in my opinion, they were evenly matched. Like, player to player, they were pretty evenly matched.
The only thing I would say I was surprised about at the conclusion of the game, or actually when it came out Sunday, was the fact that Oklahoma just dropped 5 spots in the poll. They dropped from 5 to 10. I thought they would have dropped more because they lost to an unranked team, but
that's interesting. I've been busy there. I hadn't even had a chance to look at the rankings, but that's interesting. So they only dropped to number 10.
I believe so. That's the great thing about our era of college football is that AP poll and coaches poll, those are great for people to talk about. But guess what? They don't matter because when this Tuesday drops the college football playoff,
and that is what we want to see.
That's what we want to see, man. Another game that really, this game, it wasn't shocking to me that they lost. It was more just telling about.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
It's more telling about the program as a whole, and that was when Clemson lost. They lost this past weekend. Was it NC State they played?
That's what I'm about to, because I know that you were going to it. That's what I'm about to pull up right now.
But regardless, Clemson lost this weekend, right?
Yeah, they lost.
Bro, they just look
bad. They just look. Yeah, they lost to NC State 24-17.
Yeah, if you look at the score, you're like, oh, it's a close game.
But it was the manner in which they lost. They got manhandled. On the one hand, they got manhandled in that game. And on the other hand, they can't stay out their own way. They look bad.
You know, it's funny. There's an article going on right now on 247, and I'll link it in the description below. But they were just talking about how, Cade Klubnik is having a so-so season. I mean, when you look at his stats, they're not bad.
I was reading it. Yeah, his stats aren't bad.
Yards.
Yeah, he's like 67% completion rating or something like that.
It's not bad, but you would just expect for him being a 5-star talent, that jump from his freshman year to his sophomore year, that's usually where you're going to see the biggest jump.
Yes.
Because now you have a full year of development in the program. You have a full year of
You're not
weights.
You're not just playing off your instincts.
You're not just playing off of exactly instincts. But he hasn't made that jump. And
so with that, pause for a second. With that, saying that he hasn't made that jump, they have a high paid OC, I think.
Yeah, Riley.
Yeah. Do you think it's him? Like, do you think it's Klubnik not progressing, or do you think it's the program? And the only reason why I ask that is because I bring back up DJ, who's now at Oregon State and is thriving.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well in Dabo's corner at this point.
Dabo doesn't look good right now.
That's what I'm getting to. He does not look good at this point because now you're looking over there at DJ and you're like, okay, he's thriving.
Clearly, he wasn't the problem.
He wasn't the problem. And now you have Klubnik in this situation. You're like, okay, he was a 5-star recruit.
Yeah. What is going on?
He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. What's going on?
And so I'm gonna take it a step further, right? I know you posed a question: is it Klubnik or is it Riley? It's hard for me to say that it's Riley.
No, not Riley. Not Riley itself. The program.
Oh,
I was just saying that was an added essentially bonus with Klubnik there, and then you got a offensive mastermind there. So it's like
and this is gonna be a
the
long
dots
answer.
aren't connecting.
This is gonna be a short answer, but I'm gonna add some context to it. So for me, it's the program. Short and sweet.
From my research, that's what I found out.
It's the program.
That's what I look at.
Now, some people would say, well, why wasn't it? Why didn't you see this with Deshaun Watson? Why didn't you see this with Trevor Lawrence? And I would argue that they were already all-star, superstar.
That's
talent.
top tier talent.
So no matter how bad your coaching is going to be,
they're still going to be great.
They're still going to perform.
They're still going to be great.
But when you don't have quarterbacks that are of that echelon that need development, now we're actually seeing how good your program is in regards to that.
Can you develop this player?
And so DJU is exhibit A of it's not necessarily the quarterback, it's more of the development.
Yes.
Because all Clemson fans and your big sports pundits would say DJU is the problem.
Yeah.
Clearly,
he's not
the problem because he is over here like throwing 200, 300-yard games at Oregon State. That's primarily a run offense.
You have people talking about Oregon State in a positive way.
And now you see that Cade, like I said, hasn't made that jump from freshman to sophomore year. Mm-hmm. All eyes and all fingers point right back at Dabo
and his
program is the problem.
Your inability to develop.
So I don't necessarily understand what's going on.
Well, I'm not going to say quarterback. Develop and build a team.
So I would say it's just strictly quarterback for me because if you look at defense, the defense isn't bad.
They're decent.
Running back isn't bad. I mean, Will Shipley's he's an anomaly.
Yeah, he's an anomaly. He's a mild McCaffrey, if you will.
But the quarterback just does not look good. And then another reason why I would point to the program, I would take it all the way back to last week when they lost against Miami, right? Mm-hmm. Now that last play they ran where he pulled it on the design,
that was dumb.
Yeah, it was dumb, but I think it's more telling than that in the fact that why did he really decide to pull it? Do you trust the play calling? Is there a lack of trust in the play calling, a lack of trust in the coaching?
Because
that they're not calling the best. They're not calling the best plays
because they don't trust. Because they don't have that much faith in him.
And once again,
it's back to development.
To the program.
Back to the program.
So,
because you look at that play, any head coach, whether it's Brian Kelly, Nick Saban, Kirby, whomever, you're going to give your quarterback, yes, that play is being called, but you're going to give your quarterback some leeway on that.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, I know we have this play called, but if you see, don't just go out there and just run the play regardless. I need you to go out there and read the field as well.
Yeah.
I don't see them giving him, from watching Clemson's games as bad as they have been, he doesn't have that leeway to do those type of things.
It's almost some stuff that
it's like a robot.
We know better.
Yes.
Do what we say. Even though you're the one out there, you see it.
You see that this guy is a free rusher on the end. Nobody's there. Yeah. You see it, but we still run the play. But coach, he's free.
Don't worry. We'll take care of it.
Just outrun him. I can't.
And so, man, that's why I think that it is. I don't know if they have off this week, but regardless, Dabo needs to really look at himself.
Yeah.
Like, am I doing enough to make sure that my players are good? Because, yeah, like I said, you had Trevor, you had Deshaun, you had who's the cat before them?
Freak. I can't remember his name.
From Virginia. I can't remember his name. But
yeah, you've had these good run of the mill guys.
Yeah.
To where you can kind of like take your hands off.
You didn't have to worry about developing.
But now I need you to develop. We're paying you millions of dollars.
You're in a position where you have to develop.
I need you to coach. I need you to develop. And I think for me, overall, looking at everything in a whole, and we can move on from after this. For me, it's crazy how quickly Clemson has went down.
It was fast.
Like, that's the crazy part. And the only reason why I'm gonna use them, the only reason I'm gonna use this use these two teams as a comparison is because, I mean, they were the only other two. Well, I'm gonna use three teams. They were the only other three headhunters at the time that was still in that top tier upper echelon, and that's LSU, Georgia, Alabama. Mm-hmm. And LSU, Georgia, Alabama, and I'll even go as far as to use Ohio State. When you look at those four teams, Clemson at one point was right there with them.
Yeah.
So how is it that these teams can come in and can come in and stay here, even though some of them were already there, stay there, whereas you come in and it's like a flash in the pan and now you've plummeted? Because since even when Orgeron was at LSU, Clemson's already has 4 losses, I think. They already got 4 losses.
Yeah, this was their 4th loss.
That is their 4th loss. Name a recent season where Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Ohio State. Name a season where these other top tier upper echelon teams suffered 4 losses when they were just up here.
LSU.
Like
the year Orgeron got fired.
The year he got fired. But he won the national championship.
He won national championship the year before.
And so that's what I'm saying. But there was you can clearly see that there was a developmental aspect of those teams where guys come in, we're developing them. Regardless if you are a great talent or not, we are still going to develop you. I think that's the key thing that's missing from Clemson.
Yeah. And man, like I said, I just think they really need to button up the hatches and have a real come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, they do.
And be like,
We trash.
We're the problem.
Yeah, we trash.
We are the problem.
We got to figure something out. We'll see. We'll see. They still got a few more games this season, so we'll see what they can do. So, I think this was the other game that you want to talk about. So, well, you got one and I got one from the Pac-12. Colorado and UCLA.
Yes.
Did you watch that whole game, or it was like bits and pieces?
I watched the 3 quarters.
3 quarters?
The first 3 quarters, yeah.
So I watched about the same. I think I watched it like midway through the fourth.
I got angry towards the end. I was like, this is just stupid.
That game showcased 2 things to me. And I'm pretty sure you got some additionals, but I know we both agree on these 2. One, it does not matter how good and how many skill players you have.
Mm-hmm.
If your quarterback does not have time to handle his business, it's over with. In which case, we've saw that for the past couple of games.
It's bad because even when he did have time, he was getting the ball out way too quick. Because how can I trust that you're going to hold up?
His internal clock was expiring.
Because
with the quickness.
That 1 out of every 4 snaps.
Yeah, I got 2 guys. I have
enough time, but those other 3.
I got guys in my face.
So what do you expect me to do that one time?
Yeah, it throws off the time, and a lot of their routes is based on timing and anticipation.
Yeah.
He legitimately puts the ball in a spot. He's not throwing at a player. He's throwing at a spot, and he expects you to be at that spot. The other thing that I saw is your offensive line is, which these 2 things go hand in hand. That offensive line is a god awful.
Yeah, bro. And when he made the statement that we're gonna find more offensive linemen, I'm like, bro, like, you're halfway through the season. If they weren't there, then
my only assumption is that he's saying that for future references for next season, because this season is a wrap. Like, UCLA was rushing. I know for a fact I saw them rush essentially 3 guys, but then one of those 3 guys was just like he was still rushing, but softly rushing, and they still couldn't do nothing with the 2 full rushers.
Bro, there was times where UCLA. Sorry, I've got itch in my throat. UCLA was playing games. Like, there were times where they didn't even have any down linemen. Everybody was just up in the 2-point stance. Like,
I still want them to be bowl eligible. I still think they can be, but you have dug yourself. I'm not even. Do I want to say a hole? Maybe not a hole. You've dug yourself in what's bigger
deeper than a hole?
Yeah, what's deeper than a hole?
A well?
Yeah, you've dug yourself into a well at this point. Like, they got Utah, Washington State.
November's going to be hell.
Utah, Washington State.
Say it with me.
Oregon.
November's going to be hell.
It's going to be Hades. It's going to be. It's going to be. It's going to be pure and utter Hades. And Arizona. That's who they got. They got those 4 games left.
They may.
They
may
go ahead,
squeak out 1 win.
I was about to say.
And
I was about to say that.
You know what?
I was about to say that. I want to. I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna say 2. I'm about to say 2. I'm going 2. I'm going 2. I'm going 2 wins. I'm going 2 wins in bowl eligibility, baby. I'm going 2.
Yeah, you hold on to that hope you got over there. I want to say this because.
All right, go ahead.
When I was giving my critique about Colorado in the beginning of the season,
yes,
everybody was calling me a hater. Everybody was calling me a hater.
They were calling you a hater for a very... See, you're looking at it in the sense of you as being called a hater because you're just critiquing the team.
I was being a very logical person talking to a bunch of emotional ass individuals. That's what was going on. I said, okay, they don't have the depth. And at some point...
Well, we both said that, though.
I get it. But y'all were like, oh, you know...
I know. Of course, I'm going to be that way because I'm happy at what I'm seeing. I'm still happy at what I'm seeing. But we knew depth was gonna ruin it.
You can
anyway.
be happy at what you're seeing, but also be realistic.
I said 6-6 bowl eligible. That's what I said.
Well, let's see. When I was given my breakdown of their schedule, I thought they had a chance. They have a chance of being a bowl eligible, but
they are
losing games that I had them checked off as winning.
I think so,
and it's just
the game that essentially ruined them.
Arizona State.
No, I wasn't even about to say that one.
Oh, that for me, that's no, because they should have beat Arizona State.
The game that ruined them for me was Stanford.
Did they beat Arizona
Yeah.
State? It was Stanford.
It was the Stanford game. The Stanford game is the game that we both pegged them to win, and they should have won that game by like 30 points. And that game truly showed that y'all literally just. So 2 things happened. One, y'all literally turned y'all light. They literally turned down their tenacity all the way.
All the way.
They turned it all the way down. And Stanford was like, oh, after Stanford got that first big play, Stanford was like, oh, y'all really ain't trying to play no more. All right, bet, we got this. And that's what killed it. Yes. Because Stanford had no hope that first half.
They didn't.
It wasn't until that second half where Stanford truly got hope. And what do we always say? If you give a team that you're supposed to beat hope, you're going to take an L. Yeah. You're going to lose that game.
And what happened?
They took an L. So those are their last 4 games. It really ain't much else to say. If they can figure out that O-line situation, I think they can make a run and at least win 2 of the 4 and be bowl eligible. Yeah. If they don't figure out that offensive line situation, these last 4 games, it's about to be ugly. Yeah. And I will go as far to say this: the last one, which is against Utah. You taking an L by 30. I'm saying it on record right now. They gonna take an L by 30 if they don't get it together when they play Utah. Because even though Utah got beat by Oregon, we knew that. We more so knew that they was gonna get roasted by Oregon.
I thought the defense would give them more of a chance. But
Brad, that Oregon offense is it is a well-oiled machine.
I'm gonna say it here. If they play Washington again, I think they'll beat Washington. But
they're a well-oiled machine because Washington was struggling with I forgot who they played. They were
State.
Yeah, they were struggling. They were struggling with them for a minute.
Well, last weekend, the weekend before last, but then this past weekend they played Stanford.
Yeah, I think so, and they were struggling with them for a little while. I can't remember if they won or lost that game, but they won. They were struggling with them for a little while. The last game that in the Pac-12 that I want to talk about, and it was terrible.
The USC game.
Oh God. Bruh.
I thought they were about to lose to Cal.
Bruh. Cal gave up the ghost.
They did. That 2-point conversion.
Cal gave up the ghost. I really thought Cal was going to win that game. But Cal had controlled the game for pretty much the whole entire... controlled the momentum pretty much the entire game.
Yes, they did.
It was until the back end that once again, I guess Cal was like, okay, we good. We're not going to... And lo and behold, he does his scrambling thing and... That's what you're left with.
Happened.
You're left with an L.
But we said, I mean, the thing is, like, everybody had the script is out on Caleb.
Period.
But y'all still let him do what he does.
I was talking to my best friend about this, and when we were talking about, if you had the number 1 pick in this, that, and the third, and he was like, bro, you saying that you wouldn't draft Caleb Williams? I said, absolutely not. I say, bro, if you go watch all of Caleb Williams' games, even from when he was at Oklahoma, I say he does not know how to lead a team down the field. And by that, I mean, take away scrambling, it's over with.
Yeah.
There's no anticipation. His success is entirely dependent upon him scrambling and the defense breaking down.
Yeah, the discipline of the defense.
If the defense plays disciplined...
Notre Dame.
it's gonna be an L. Utah. It's gonna be an L.
It's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a long night for him
because he's gonna start throwing. He's gonna start doing things that you don't expect.
He's going to throw at least 2 picks minimum. So the other thing is, I am waiting for this season to be over with. Cause I don't want nobody to lose their job. But at the end of the day, if you ain't doing your job, you need to lose your job. Your job need to be gone.
Alex Grinch.
That defensive coordinator.
Yeah, Alex Grinch.
Bruh, okay. There's no way.
I'm sorry, buddy.
There's no way that you are at USC with the amount of money, amenities, and all that, and you're in Southern California. Mm-hmm. You can't give a better defense on the field than what is out there. I'm not even putting it on the players. I'm putting it on him.
The scheme is.
You have not held one team of caliber
under 30
points.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah.
So there's no way that you can tell me that you reading film, you watching film, you studying the team that y'all playing. Bro, there's no way.
So I love my buddy Mikey. I know I talk
he's
about
a USC head.
Big USC.
Oh God.
So I wake up Sunday. No. Was it Sunday morning? It was either Sunday or Saturday morning. I wake up to a text message from Mikey. Like Mikey is he's up in New York right now.
Okay.
And he's an hour ahead of us. And he sends me a text message saying, I know I'm grasping at straws right now, but maybe I have to read the text message. It was like maybe Prime will go to USC or something like that. And I was like, is this the shit I wake up to first thing in the morning?
He's not.
And he was like, oh, bro, my bad. I forgot. But it's like,
he's not.
He said, okay, there's no way this happens, but what if Prime went to USC? I'm grasping at straws now. Bro,
that is a hope that's not going to happen. That's the hope that's not going to happen.
But it's just like, he's a diehard Trojan fan.
But he understands that they're horrible.
Bro, it's like...
And that's why I go back to... Okay.
Grinch, man, I'm sure you're a good guy, but you're done.
You're horrible at defensive coordinator.
You're done, bro.
You're horrible, bro. You are terrible.
I never want to call for somebody's job, but you need to go be an analyst somewhere.
Or take a step back, let somebody else take that role and then shadow and learn, because yes, we're sitting here talking, but
it doesn't take a rocket scientist.
It don't take a rocket scientist to see that the defense is terrible. And I don't mean terrible in the sense of, okay, there's a few, we had a few bombs, here and there. I mean terrible in the sense of when the entire football world, and that goes for talking heads, analysts, researchers, people of high prestige saying that, oh, we know U.S. defense is trash, basically. But that tells you something.
But the thing is, it's like, it's trash at USC. It was trash at Oklahoma. The common denominator is out.
You're trash, bruh.
You're not good at your job.
You need to go learn. If you want to be a defensive, if you want to stay being a defensive coordinator, bro, then go learn from somebody who who knows what they're doing. Because at this point, with what you have young men that are quote unquote dying to go to USC. It ain't like y'all got a lack of recruits that want to come play there. Yeah. So why you can't put a defense together, bro? All we asking
30 points.
All we asking is a few stops throughout the course of the game.
Don't give up more than 30 points. Because your offense will put up 30.
Easy. I have no doubt that Caleb Williams is going to put up over 30 points. Unless you just have a stout defense like Notre Dame. But you need to go, bruh. Sorry. Like, what's the other option?
There is no other option, bro.
What's the other option? Go be a position coach? No.
That ain't gonna happen.
No.
No, not within the same program. That's not gonna happen.
And Lincoln Riley need to sit down. And Lincoln Riley need to have that heart to heart. Like, bro, I love you as a guy. I love you as a homie. But you gotta go,
because as a coach, you are supposed to. Your job is to be loyal to your friends. As much as everybody says you need to be loyal to your people, yes, but at the end of the day, if he is hindering you from doing your job to the best capability, then you got to do something, because if he's then being a hindrance towards your performance, that's going to end up taking food out of your mouth and your family.
From everybody.
Well, yeah, everybody.
From everybody.
Bro,
because now you're talking about, at one point they was talking about them being in the national championship race. That's gone. And then they were talking about, Pac-12 championship. That's gone. Yeah, that's gone. So now you're just talking about you're playing for a low-level bowl game at this point?
Only saving grace they have, no.
They got 2 L's?
They have one conference loss, and they lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So they're
the only hope, and like Mikey pulling for straws, the only hope is that you would have is that
you have to beat Oregon or Washington.
Not even that. I'm talking about, like, even if they wanted to talk about national championship race, which is completely and utterly out of the question. The only way that would be possible, the amount of things that would have to happen.
People it has to be a dumpster fire.
Everybody got a tank.
Yeah.
It has to be a fire sale. Georgia got a tank. LSU got a tank. Florida State got a tank. Michigan got a tank. Ohio State got a tank.
Air Force has a tank.
Alabama has the tank. Air Force has the tank. You're literally talking about a fire sale at this point. Washington, Oregon, everybody got to literally be like, we're just gonna call this season a wrap. We want to give USC a shot. Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
So that was the last game that I was looking at.
That was the last game.
I wanted Cal to win that game so bad.
I did too.
I really wanted them to win because they were controlling the game. They were literally controlling the entire game. So USC fans, just like everybody else, we understand, but y'all got to get y'all a new DC defensive coordinator. I'm not even going to say DC defensive coordinator, because y'all going to see this again next year. Y'all saw it last year. I don't know why y'all ain't do something about it then.
They play LSU next year.
Oh, that's going to be funny.
In Vegas.
That's going to be fun.
That's going to be that's going
to be fun. So what else you got?
That was really it. That was, well, at least for the games of this past week. Mm-hmm. But now,
yeah, we saved your hate week for last. So
I'm looking forward to this.
I'm going to shut up.
All right, baby.
Let me just set the premise. They play them in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, nighttime.
All right, go ahead.
Nighttime, prime time, baby. Look.
Have at it, sir.
All right, it's very simple. Okay, we need to let the percolator, Harold Perkins, do his thing. I would say the only thing that's not scaring me, but gives me some apprehension about this weekend is that we're going in with freshman and sophomore corners, because our most experienced corner and our best corner got hurt.
Oh, dang.
During the Army game.
Oh, gotcha.
Going into halftime.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that concerns me, because
discipline.
Well, that, and the corners just haven't instilled a lot of confidence in the LSU faithful.
True.
And
this is true.
The thing about Alabama is that they're great at the deep ball.
They are.
And
Alabama is a second half team.
They are.
I've come to realize that.
But and LSU was that way last year. Mm-hmm. But LSU is at least on the offensive side.
The offensive side, y'all are well.
They are a full
flawless
game.
Yeah, y'all flawless on the offensive aspect. Machine. Yeah.
But defense has really started to come together on the back end of the season, which you want to see that.
Yeah.
And so I think we really do have a strong opportunity. We have a great opportunity to beat Alabama.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because no defense has been able to stop LSU aside from Florida State, but I'll probably call that first game jitters, whatever.
It's first game of the season. But yeah, you're playing out of conference rival.
And I talked about it last week. Is that they're averaging what, like
40 something points a game?
40 plus points a game.
40, yeah. I think it's like 46, 47 points a game.
It's hard for me to see that won't be the case this game. Now, granted, Alabama does have Dallas Turner, and I forget the other edge rusher on the other side, but we have the best offensive line in the SEC. Yeah. I'm willing to put a stamp on that. Yeah. We have the best receiving core in the SEC.
Yeah, so I give y'all that one.
I feel we are going to give Alabama some problems.
I think so.
I honestly feel that LSU's weakness in the secondary is less than Alabama's
weakness on offense.
Yeah, the weakness on or the strength on offense.
Their strength on offense.
Because I just there's only so many deep balls that you're going to be able to get. You know what I'm saying? And how much time are you actually going to get on getting those deep balls out?
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, when they played Texas A&M, they had a rough going against Texas A&M.
Yeah, because they held the deep ball.
Yeah. And Texas A&M's front was good. I think,
they were very stout.
Honestly, I feel like it's 1A, 1B in regards to Texas A&M and LSU's fronts.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, A&M could have won that game, but their offense isn't.
Their offense isn't potent. No,
it isn't potent like LSU.
And so their quarterback is not. Yeah.
So if we keep those two factors in mind, I really think that LSU has a strong chance of beating Alabama.
I think so. From looking at, and we were laughing about this. Looking at Alabama over the course of these weeks, yes, they've gradually gotten better and better and better and better and better. And we've asked ourselves this question: like, how do they keep winning?
Yeah.
LSU, y'all will win that game if one, like you said, they allow Perk to do his thing. Two, Brian Kelly goes through this. I don't know if it's Brian Kelly or I don't know if it's y'all offense coordinator. Goes through this lapse of trying to outcoach yourself. Stop.
Well, I honestly,
it's it's not a cut, but it's like a play here and there, and it's like just stop.
So what I'll say is I haven't seen that since. I personally haven't seen that since Florida State, because Florida State we were doing some what are we really doing here?
Like watching y'all games, it was like a play here and there. Like it might have been like 1 or 2 plays per game or 1 play per game, but it's just like stop.
It had you scratching your head like
and so
we're in a good rhythm, and then you
do some uckery. Hang on, yeah. And so it's like, okay, yes, y'all are going into Tuscaloosa. Yes, the environment essentially is going to be tense because that is a true rivalry game. That is the equivalent to the Georgia-Florida game, in my opinion.
On the west side,
On the west side. That is a rivalry game. You cannot allow the emotions of the game to dictate your play calling.
You can't.
And so for me, that's where I'm at. I'm like, okay, LSU can win this game if LSU just plays ball.
And that's why I say, man,
no pretty plays, no fancy yada 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 misdirections. All of that.
Just stay within your limits.
Just you have the weapons on offense. You have the weapons on the outside. You have a weapon who is taking the ball every single time. You have running backs. On defense, for the most part, your front 7 is there. Yeah, y'all got your 2 freshman corners, but the defense just play ball.
Yeah, and man, I'm telling you, like, I honestly, I can't say, I haven't seen it since the Florida State game, but like LSU has just been playing within themselves, and we're at the point now where we have a legit number 3 receiver.
Yeah,
which. gives me even more confidence going into Alabama because they're going to probably they're going to put Kool-Aid on Malik.
Yeah.
They're going to put Arnold on Thomas. But who do you have that's going to cover Lacey or Hilton?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be a tall order.
If you put Caleb Downs on him, get ready. He's a talent, but he's still a freshman.
Roasted duck.
So
it's gonna be an interesting game. I think.
Oh, and let me just say this: like outside of Burton, I don't. There's no receiver on there that like.
There's no
instills fear.
That's a standout. There's no receiver this season that has truly shown that he's a standout number 2 because on their team, Burton is their number 1, which we both have came to the conclusion that he'd be a number 3 receiver on another high receiving core team. Yeah. He'd be number 3. He wasn't even number 1 receiver when he was at Georgia. So, looking at it, I think it's going to be a good game for starters. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I honestly think that game is probably the momentum shifts and all of that. That game is probably going to be determined if one team gets a special teams play, whether it's a blocked punt return, kick return, something that's gonna seal it. What is and I'm gonna ask you this and then we'll wrap it up. What is your final score for the game?
I don't know why I'm settling on this number, but it just kind of makes sense to me. 45-28 LSU.
45-28 LSU?
Yeah.
I'm going 31-17 LSU.
I really feel like LSU's going to put up 40.
Who down?
Yeah.
I would be surprised if y'all don't, but that's why I say I'm going 31-17. I'm going 31-17 LSU. Pulling out the win.
Only way that I could shoot, even if he does get hurt, we could. No. Let me stop that.
Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, don't say it.
I'm not gonna say
There's no bad juju out there for
y'all. If that
y'all.
happens, I'm gonna be mad.
Oh, people gonna pull this clip and they gonna haunt you.
If that happens, I'll be mad.
They gonna pull this clip. They gonna haunt you if you say it.
We'll be fine.
So
I think it'll be 40. That was 45-28.
Yeah, 45-28. 31-17 for me. Let us know what y'all think in the comments.
This game.
Who y'all think gonna win? Give us y'all predictive scores for this game.
Literally stressing out on Saturday. Like
he's probably gonna go. He's probably gonna go live on his phone.
It's
at some point.
It's great that my mother-in-law's in town because I can just go. I need to go be by myself. Because I'm going to stand in front of the television. I'm probably not going to sit down. But hey, it's college football season.
I love it. Like I'm more excited for this game than I am Georgia playing Missouri. God, just because I know this is going to be an interesting game. All right, guys. So
does it have to be a night game in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, it got to be in Tuscaloosa. It's already signed.
I'm saying a night game. Does it have to be a night game?
That's the beauty of it.
Night just scares me, bro. Like,
night scares everybody. Night game scares everybody.
All right.
Tell us what y'all think. Always remember to like, share, subscribe, comment us, DM us. Tell us what y'all think. Yes, y'all, please say a small prayer for him because I'm out of... Even though we play Missouri, we beat Florida, so I'm good right now. He is not because that's his rival. It's definitely going to have some.
It's literally 6 days away, and I'm over here.
It's going to have some definite implications on LSU or Alabama's future. We shall see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. With that's a wrap. We love y'all. Deuces.
Oh my God, I'm not ready for this game.